In life, if we view any relationship through a comparative lens, one side will inevitably outweigh the other. This story unveils the tangled threads of pride and realization. Keshav planned a weekend getaway to a nearby picnic spot. Ever since our two sons had gone to the hostel, I had been feeling lonely at home, so I quickly agreed. Early the next morning, we set off. We hadn't even covered half the distance when a young boy suddenly dashed across the road in front of our car. Keshav tried his best to avoid him, but the car swerved and crashed into a roadside stone. The boy fell to the ground with a minor hit, though Keshav was not at fault. Yet within moments, a crowd gathered around us, and I was terrified. Just then, a police jeep arrived, and 4 or 5 officers stepped out. They controlled the situation and took us to safety in their vehicle. The man who emerged from the jeep was none other than Vishnu. Seeing him, I immediately understood why the police officers had treated us so kindly. Vishnu gave instructions regarding our damaged car and then took us to his home. There, he quickly arranged for Keshav's minor injuries to be treated. Despite all that he did for us, I could not even utter a simple thank you. Deep down, I had always considered myself superior to him, making his humility seem like servitude. But today, his graceful personality, high status, and gentle demeanor shattered my pride. His dark eyes held an unspoken question that left me unsettled. His wife, Riva, and their chubby son, Anant, soon joined us. Riva's beauty, charming personality, and humble nature crumbled the last remnants of my arrogance. She was a doctor at a nearby hospital, yet spared no effort in hosting us generously. Standing before her, I felt small. Meanwhile, Vishnu and Keshav conversed as if they were long-lost brothers. I was astounded. Could just 10 years truly transform a person so completely? Vishnu, once dressed in worn-out clothes and patched shoes, now looked smart in his police uniform. Training had refined his features, and his once dark and weary face now radiated confidence. Yet, his smile remained as warm as ever. As Riva left for some work, my mind drifted back to the city of Muzaffarpur, to the house next to my best friend Neha's. Vishnu was Neha's cousin, the only child of her uncle. His parents stayed in the village, working as farmers. After passing his 10th grade exams, Vishnu moved to the city to live with his uncle, Aditya Babu, for further studies. But no one in that house cared for him. He got food and shelter, but in return, he had to run errands, paying electricity bills, grinding flour, and more. Yet, despite his hardships, he never lost his self-respect. He tutored students to fund his education. Neha once told me that although Vishnu had studied in a village, his knowledge of math and English was remarkable. However, his shabby appearance made it difficult for him to find well-paying tutoring jobs. Perhaps out of sympathy, I convinced my mother to let him tutor my younger brothers, Sonu and Monu. His financial struggles turned into entertainment for our family. Whenever he came to teach, my younger sister Komal found ways to mock him. She once laughed, "Did you see his shoes? He has stuck stickers all over his stone shoes to fix them." Another time, she giggled, "Do you know why he rolls up his sleeves even in winter? Because his shirt sleeves are torn." When my mother found out, she scolded Komal and paid Vishnu his tuition fee early. The next day, he arrived wearing a new shirt, no longer needing his old sweater to hide his torn clothes. Vishnu was well aware of our taunts, but chose to laugh them off rather than react. On my birthday, he presented me with 2 beautiful yellow roses, delicately arranged with leaves. Komal wasted no time in mocking him. He can't afford such flowers. He must have stolen them from some garden. Despite everything, Vishnu became a part of our household. But Komal's consistent teasing made me wonder, was he falling in love with me? He paid special attention to me more than anyone else in the family. Yet he never crossed the line. He never confessed his feelings. But I could sense his love. His audacity amused me. How could someone from his background even dream of someone like me? I was raised in wealth and privilege. My father held a high position in the irrigation department. We were accustomed to luxury. Meanwhile, Vishnu's dark complexion, rural manners, and humble background made him seem far beneath me. Once I realized his feelings, my behavior towards him grew colder. Around the same time, our university results came out. Vishnu ranked first, while I secured a first class. This lessened the growing distance between us, but it was too late. Before I could plan my future studies, my uncle arranged my marriage to Keshav. My father assigned Vishnu various wedding tasks. Though he worked silently, his sadness was evident. But blinded by pride, I flaunted my soon-to-be husband's status and wealth, deliberately hurting him. A day before my wedding, Vishnu's mother fell ill, and he had to leave for his village. Soon after, he moved to Patna for a job. 2 years later, Komal called me, excited. Guess what? That street boy, Vishnu, is now an IPS officer. Instead of feeling happy, I felt a sharp sting. I had always considered him inferior, yet he had surpassed all expectations. Rather than celebrate his success, I mocked him. Through deep down, I knew my words reflected my own insecurity. He had always been selfless, while I had been blinded by arrogance. Riva's voice brought me back to the present. Handing me a cup of tea, she said, Vishnu always spoke highly of you, but now I see you are even better than he described. I replied curtly, praising others is just a habit of his. She smiled. That's true. Vishnu always sees the best in people. He holds no grudges. His devotion to his parents is admirable. A man who values relationships can never make his wife unhappy. That's what drew me to him. Though we come from different backgrounds, his kindness won my heart. Marrying him was the best decision of my life. Her words deepened my silence. A strange emptiness filled my heart. Our car was finally repaired, and as we prepared to leave, I turned to look at Vishnu. Our eyes met, but I could not hold his gaze. The invisible wall of superiority I had built was now overshadowed by the towering success of the man I once looked down upon.